Welcome everybody to all our thousands and thousands of listeners. Today we actually have, as a special occasion, we actually have one live listener. And don't worry, we are keeping all the hilchos of quarantining. We're staying a lot more than 6 feet away. So although generally I have the honor of speaking to the wall, so now I'm speaking to a person. However, I was thinking that if you're speaking to one person, it's not that you're not talking to the wall, it's that you're talking to the wall plus. There's a certain madrega, even two people, the wall plus two. You have to know exactly when you reach the stage that you no longer talking to the wall plus a few, and you're just to mention. So as of now, we're still talking to the wall. So Bruchim Aboyim wall, Bruchim Aboyim our chashuv listeners. Let's get straight down to the point. Daf Lamed Vav Shabbos. We are going to be discussing the concept. If muktzah to one person who is the owner of the item, if something is muktzah to him, does that make it automatically muktzah to other people as well? So the Gemara starts off actually in the bottom of Lamed Beis. The Gemara is discussing shofar, if it's the shofar of the chazan, if it's muktzah or not. And the Gemara said it's a chil between yachid and tzibur. So the Gemara wanted to say yachid l'may chazi. If it's yachid, it's not muktzah. Why? However, the Gemara by mayim l'tinik back to the Talmud. The ardaf it's roy to give it to a tinik, but tzibur nami chazi l'gamei l'tinik oni. That tzibur should also not be muktzah because you can give it to a tinik oni. Zok Rashi. Al tzibur l'farnase. The tzibur, it's their job to be farnase a tinik oni. So the Stipler points out, what did Rashi have to say that it's their job to be mefarnes? If not for the fact that it's their job to be mefarnes, then even though it's theoretically roi for a tinnik, but since the owners, the tzibur, for them it's not roi, so it would be muktzah. So Stipler in this Rashi, he says from Tosfos there's no raya at all to this, because Tosfos learns it's only tzarech, but from Rashi it's clearly mevurs of the Stipler that if something which is muktzah for one person, it's muktzah for everybody unless there's a reason for that person himself, it wouldn't be muktzah, and that's why in this case, the tzibur themselves, they need it for a tinnikon. So the truth is, this should be a very simple thing. It's very gemara, come out. The Gemara in Daf Mem Zayin and says that the Rebbe, I wouldn't say he was metaltal, kalkola, whatever the case was, he had something, he told something that had things, a carton inside, and the Gemara said that's why it wasn't muktzah. But Gemara, carton, but some kind of besamim, Gemara, right, besamim. Karten by Rebbe Michshivi, how could that make it not muktzah? Rebbe's gross gevir, he's not using karten v'chitei chazul aniyin, so he could give it to aniyin, or when it's chazul aniyin, but aniyin, big day aniyin, big day shir mashir, there got to be something else. The more as a kasha, it can't be something which is for an aniyin is for an aniyin, for Rosh is for Rosh. The more clearly said, since Rebbe is the Ashir, so for him it should be muktzah. So it's not much like Rashi. This shouldn't be controversial. However, let's start with Tosfos in the previous summer. That Memvav Mebeis, he seems to say the exact opposite. The Gemara when he was discussing, the Gemara said Nisharim L'Dorim L'Tzarech you can be shoyl on that. The Gemara the Kasha Chayr Miyam is Dakik L'Chacham. So Tosfos over there said, the Gemara was discussing that should be muktzah. The Afal Gav the pairs because the pairs and other mem Einom Muktzim L'Inin Tilpul. If Ish is noider from something or a person, it's not muktzah. Whatever the case of the Gemara, one saying someone's noider, it's not muktzah. Why? The Chazul Shav B'nei Adam. It says clearly that if someone's moider hana for something, it's not muktzah v'shar b'nei adam. Since it's chazul shar b'nei adam, it's not muktzah. Yeah. So the chayr, what Tosfos didn't, he's arguing the Gemara on the next amid. It's pleading the Tosfos. So we on the Tosfos is mitzayin the kosav hashlishi lechre b'neihem to the Tosfos naf kuf chav zayin, which would explain the Tosfos. Because the Gemara naf kuf chav zayin says truma is not muktzah. Found truma pshita le'tzucha the mancha b'yad Yisrael. Yisrael has it. The case truma is not muktzah. Mao de teimo kiven lechazi le'aser kamashpon kiven lechazi le'koyin shapir domi. Zok the Gemara that since truma b'yad Yisrael, but since it's mutter for a koyin, it's not muktzah. So frak Tosfos over there. Afal gav dom yakash we asking dom shili kira the big diani mashim. It's often a steer. Gemara that Mem Zayin says. That for Rebbe, if the beg it's for, if you're a Ashir and you have a beg which is not chazi for you, it's muktzah. How can the Gemara say truma, which is chazi for a kohen, is not muktzah, but it's not chazi for the Yisrael, is the bailam? So the Tosfos gives a teretz, hacha, which is teretz, the kuli al mechazia, ali hisura huder reviali. There's a difference if it's not chazi be'etzem, or if it's chazi, there's just an isser reviali, which means Tosfos understands that it depends. If it's a muktzah, something like if it's something a Rebbe wouldn't use, then it's muktzah for everybody. If it's not really muktzah, it's chazi, it's just as an isser. The gabi yisurim, you don't have this klal. It's muktzah for the baal, it's muktzah for everyone else. So Rick Veger is Mitzayin, he needs to explain this is Shulchan Aruch over here as well. On the Memvav, and the Dorim is an isser. So this is Rick Veger is explaining Tosfos. The Tosfos is shitos, they are of the opinion if it's an isser reviale, then you don't have this klal. If it's muktzah for the baal, it's muktzah for everybody. However, the Ran on Daf Chav Aleph Menal B'Daf Yerif, when he goes down to this gemara of Rabbi, the big Danim Laniyim. And we have Shamin the Muktzeh Ashir Muktzeh Afil Laniyim. Muktzeh Afil Laniyim may metal tonight. So you should clear hooks and midai to show Balabais. So check around. It's only Muktzeh for the Balabais. It's Muktzeh of everybody. But Chenami Mash from a time in big gemara. The meaning got the gemara and that involved. Got me fear in the show on the door with Tzarech Shabbos. Maybe think about read on this Tosfos. And he answers this Kashi. He says, "What's this Kashi? It shouldn't be Muktzeh." He says, "No. Avad in the door is Muktzeh like this gemara." So the Ran's arguing with Tosfos. So it's clear from the Ran. He disagrees with Tosfos Yisayid, and the Ran holds that even if it's machmas iser d'Raviale, you would also have this cloud. If it's muktzah for one person, it's muktzah for everybody else. So then the kasha is, how is the Ran going to learn this gemara on the Afkuch Hazayim by Truma? What's pshat? The chayra Truma. Who cares if it's chadim? More so given the chazi the koyin, it's not muktzah. Truma b'yad Yisrael. What shaykh is? So I was thinking perhaps the word is because Truma the Yisrael it's not stam. It's chazi the koyin. He's mechuyev to give it to the koyin. So it's not just that someone else could use it. He has to give it to the kohen, so it's his tashmish. It's like something you give to the animal. It's adrab. The Tosfos is doch schwer. What's shaychus? What's the kasha at all? Shuma b'yad Yisrael. You got to give it to the kohen. Of course, you mechayim kaim in the sinus. So I would think Tosfos understood the gemara, which might be the lashon gemara. Shuma b'yad Yisrael doesn't necessarily mean that Yisrael was mafresh and didn't give it yet. It could mean Yisrael yarshin shuma from his grandfather who's a kohen, so he has no chiyuv nesina really. It's really his. It's just he can't. It's usher. He could sell it. So Tosfos the gemara across the board that Shuma b'yad Yisrael, whatever the case would be. So and then for Tosfos, how does that make a difference? With the Ran, you could say he learned the gemara. The Yisrael was mafresh and he didn't give it yet. So in such a case, Taka the Ran holds it wouldn't be muktzah because he has a tzorich for himself. Now this is all Givaldi Gemara. So we have Muktzeh Ran and Tosfos, and Taka the owner.From speaks out. There's Muktzeh Ran and Tosfos. The Shulchan Aruch at the third sheet that he holds is never. Tosfos holds it depends what type of isser. The Ran holds across the board it's muktzah for everyone. And the owner.From points out that the shiltei hagiborim all the way at the end of Simon Chesed. The shiltei hagiborim holds you never have this klal, and he'll be very shver from the gemara of Beged Aniyim. So this is very gewaldig until you come to halacha and Shulchan Aruch. We're going to change from hilchos Shabbos to hilchos Yom Tov. See, a very exciting Chol trip. And over there it says as follows: if a guy brings something for a yid muktzeh, the guy who he brought it for, he's not allowed to use it. In the gemara, it's gemara and beya chavdalet that it's exer, but someone else is allowed to use it because it's in tof kuf tezos hey. There's no problem. He's allowed to move it, even though it's vacher mutarim af l'ochel. Zok the owner.From. Let's say the Taz. The owner.From says the same thing. I'm just looking at the Taz now. Why is mutal l'tal? Because of a rush. The Russian Bay explains Hakam. The kivan the shari the Yisrael acher ba'achila ein loy din muktzah le'osir b'tiltul. Since it's mutter for someone else, there's no muktzah. So this is a steer to the din of the gemara of big Danim Laniyim. So according to Tosfos, it's very good. Here also is Yisura hu d'Raviale. In other words, it's an isser. You can't eat it because it's coming from chutz l'tchum. But if you around, what's in this gemara, which is the gemara in Beit. So B'kivei Getaka asked this question in the Hagoyas, and he says, "Kivin the chazal l'cheim harosh." Actually, he asks question to Rashba. The Rashba holds like the Ran also. He brings a right from the Rashba that even if it's something machmas isser, it would still be muktzah for everybody. So different mikvegir. So now the ground that the gemara doesn't say first that it's mutter b'total. So you could say the Ran argues, but the fact that it's mutter b'achila for someone else, that would seem it's mutter b'total. The gemara says mutter b'achila, so that means the other guy has to move it. So how's the Ran going to learn Yan Gemara? So the Shara Melech, he also asked the question in hilchos lulav. So the Shara Melech wants to answer that it's not a real muktzah. It's not really also for the guy himself. It's only exeris. The Rabbanon will make it. Rikegam is the guy in the Shara Melech. He says, what kind of teretz is that? Who cares? The reason why it's muktzah is not because it's muktzah machmas. It's muktzah machmas. He says the reason why it's muktzah is because pasha you can't eat it. So anything which you can't eat is muktzah. So he doesn't like the Shara Melech's teretz. Ayin sham in Rabbi Kivegir. So the shal is, what could you say for the Ran? So I was thinking two bad mahalchim, but we'll say it maybe if someone could explain a little more. The first mahalch is if you see the gemara in Beya, the case was the guy brought a doyer and he brought a present to the yid chutz l'tchum. So the Ma'aseh, the halacha clear is the owner.From in hilchos Shabbos says it's also mikabel with present on Shabbos. It's a mekach memke. So what's the case? Not even mikabel. So al karcha the Yisrael wasn't really mikabel. It was just he brought it to him, but it wasn't kind of yet. So the bailam is not muktzah. It still belongs to the guy, whoever, maybe it's heft, whatever the gather is. So actually you could say that to answer the Ran, that Shad is talking about Yisrael wasn't kind. Another thing I'm thinking is that since he gave it to him, this I have no idea if this makes any sense. I'm just throwing it out in the open. If someone could bring some more Ma'amakayim to explain it, that the guy brought it to Yisrael on Shabbos. So let's say he was kind. Efsheh, this klal that if something's muktzah to you, it's muktzah to everyone. that's only on Erev Shabbos. Ben Hashmashish, like you find certain dinim, like basis goes by Erev Shabbos. But maybe this din of muktzah to you also was totally in Erev Shabbos. So here, since in Erev Shabbos it wasn't muktzah to you, so you don't have this call of the Ran. Since this came on Shabbos, maybe the Ran's only talking about something which was muktzah for some reason. So I don't have the lumnus why it would be like that. But perhaps I don't know. Maybe I'll learn Shabbos a little more. We'll talk it come out that this will be totally in Erev Shabbos. I couldn't believe.